All right, let's just step out of our world for a minute and into another. For the next few minutes, this story is your story. A life lived in feudal Japan. A life forged in the shadows. Now, this isn't going to be a history lesson. Think of this as an experience.
And this is the first rule, and maybe the last. Because a name can be traced, right? A story can be unraveled. It's drilled into you from the second you're born. Your identity isn't a name, it's a purpose. Your legacy won't be a story that's told, but an outcome felt by people who will never, ever know you were even here.
So this is where your life begins. Not with, comfort, but with conditioning. You're a tool being sharpened. Every childhood instinct, to cry, to laugh out loud, to play, they just systematically erase it. And they replace it with something harder, colder, more useful.
And that's what you are, a kunoichi. We're talking about the Sengoku period here, the age of warring states. Lords are rising and falling like overnight. And while the men are out there looking for honor on the battlefield, your war, it's fought in whispers, in hallways, in the minds of powerful daimyos. Your greatest weapon isn't a blade. It's the fact that no one ever sees you coming.
So while other kids are learning, the delicate strokes of a calligraphy brush, your hands are learning something very different, the texture of herbs that can kill. Instead of playing games of make-believe, you're practicing the deadly art of becoming someone else, a servant, a dancer, a grieving widow. And pain isn't something you run from. It's just a teacher with a very, very harsh lesson.
You're basically living between these two worlds. But let's be clear, you only belong to one. Our clan, tucked away in the remote mountains of Aiga, they train you to watch their world, to mimic its warmth so you can exploit its weaknesses. But you can never, ever be a part of it.
These principles, they are literally what keep you alive. You have to learn to read a room in seconds, to spot a threat in just a lowered gaze. Every human connection is a potential vulnerability, a string that someone can pull. Your heart has to be as sharp and as guarded as the blade you carry.
And then it happens. The day comes. All the training, all the pain, all that discipline. This isn't practice anymore. You're sent out into the world, not as a girl, but as a ghost with a purpose.
Your work is all about patience. It's methodical. It's like this slow, creeping infiltration of a rival lord's court. You watch, you listen, you just become part of the scenery. For weeks, you are nothing. And then, in one single, silent moment, you're everything.
So you're out there, in the field, and you see it. Real families, real laughter. And a part of you, a part you were sure was dead and buried, it feels a little flicker of something. Longing, maybe. You have to crush it, instantly. That feeling is a poison far more dangerous than any you carry.
It's not glorious. Not at all. There's no big sword fight. The culmination of your life's work, everything you've trained for, is an act so subtle the world doesn't even blink. Your greatest victories are the ones that no one ever knows you won.
So you slip back into the shadows. Mission's done, the clan is safe. But there's no party, is there? No feeling of relief, just this hollow quiet and the heavy, heavy truth of what you are. Success just means the next mission is about to begin.
As time goes on, you really start to perfect your craft, and you learn that being underestimated, being brushed aside as just a woman, well, that turns out to be the most powerful weapon you could ever have. You turn their own prejudice into your shield. These skills just become second nature. You move through these worlds of power, a silent observer, manipulating events from the inside. But among all those tools of infiltration and deception, you always carry one last one, and it's not for them. It's for you. It's your guarantee that, if you're ever captured, your secrets die right there with you.
And that's the real paradox of your life, isn't it? The very thing that's keeping you safe is also what condemns you to a life of absolute loneliness. You can't trust anyone, not even the people in your own clan. Why? Because you know exactly what they're capable of. You helped train them.
For years, you operate on pure discipline. You are a perfect instrument of your clan's will. And then, one dark night, the system you have bled for, it turns on you.
It happens fast, too fast. An unexpected sound,
A torch flares where there should only be darkness, and the air just goes cold. You know that feeling? The absolute certainty that it has all gone wrong.
They knew. They were waiting for you. Every escape route is blocked. Every shadow holds an enemy blade. And for the first time in years, you are not the hunter. You are the prey.
But this is the worst part. The cruelest cut. The truth hits you when a familiar face emerges from the gloom. The information that trapped you here could have only come from one place, from within.
As you're fighting for your life, breath ragged, the final, brutal lesson just becomes crystal clear. You were never a valued member of a family. You were a piece on a board, and your sacrifice had been calculated and deemed acceptable.
You get out, somehow, wounded and alone. And now this one question is just burning away everything you once believed. Loyalty, purpose, honor, they were illusions. Your life was a lie you were trained to uphold.
In the end, you find a different kind of truth. Not in a clan, not in a cause, but in the nature of your own existence. You accept what you have always been.
Your actions, they ripple through time. A whispered word topples a lord. A stolen map shifts a border. But the hand that caused it all remains unseen. You're not really a person anymore, are you? You're more like a force of nature, a consequence, a whisper of what if.
And that's your legacy. It's not some big monument or a song they sing about you. It's the quiet, undeniable impact of a life lived entirely in the shadows. The proof you were there is that there's no proof at all. And so your story ends unwritten. Which really makes you wonder, doesn't it? As we look back at the grand narratives of the past, how many crucial moments were decided not by the figures we remember, but by the ghosts we never even knew existed?